24 minutes before 9 o'clock, it is on Morning Live and a warm welcome back. The Independent Examinations Board says the 2017 pass rate is 98.76%, comparable to last year's pass rate of 98.67%. All the candidates who passed achieved a pass that is good enough to enter tertiary study. And to tell us more about the IEB results, I'm joined by IEB CEO Anne Oberholzer. Very good morning to you, Anne, and welcome.
Thank you, Sipiwe, and good morning to you too.
Good morning. Now, talk to us about the increase in the IEB matric pass rate.
It's a 0.9% increase, which is not significantly higher. It's slightly higher, and good luck to the students who've been successful this year.
What do you think has attributed to the slight growth?
Well, I mean, there's always a slight fluctuation from year to year. Certainly not more than a percent or so. I think the good results as a whole are dependent on three key issues, namely the students who want to do well, a dedicated teaching community who wants to support them in every way possible so that they can achieve the very best they can, and most importantly, a committed parent body who encourage and support their child through this whole schooling process.
Okay, are these results just for the National Senior Certificate or the IEB exams as well?
Well, the IEB runs the National Senior Certificate, as does the DBE. So Umalusi is in charge of the National Senior Certificate as a qualification, and their directives apply to both the IEB as well as the DBE. Okay.
Now, and indulge me on the advanced program courses. The 2017 performance in AP Mathematics, that's an increase from 87.9% to 92.72%, achieving a pass above 40%.
Yes. We're very proud of the advanced program courses. They are extension courses, so they are not part and parcel of the National Senior Certificate at all. They are in addition to, the IEB runs these exams. They are open to both IEB registered schools as well as schools that write the state exam. We're very proud of them because they're intensive courses within their disciplines. They really probe deeply into understanding and knowledge and concepts related to their disciplines. We offer that in the two key disciplines, in my opinion, namely language. So we have an AP English and an AP Afrikaans and AP Mathematics. I think a very important point about the AP programs is that we have had them internationally benchmarked, and they are deemed equivalent to A-levels. So I'm very proud that we in South Africa are able to boast that we have students quite capable of achieving at that level.
Let's now talk about the difference between the IEB examination compared to the government curriculum. I mean, both are regulated by the Department of Basic Education and quality assured by Umalusi. What really is the difference?
You're absolutely right. There is one qualification, which is the National Senior Certificate, which is overseen, the assessment of that qualification is overseen by Umalusi. And the curriculum that underpins the National Senior Certificate is our national curriculum statements produced by the Department of Basic Education. The difference between the two exams is that we set our own papers using that curriculum in line with the directives of Umalusi, and the department sets its exams in the same way. However, I suppose our philosophy in relation to assessment is that the way you ask a question matters. So the way I ask a question will either probe your understanding, broaden your understanding, or force you to look at an analysis of information rather than just simply producing the information. We make a point of doing that, and by saying that, I'm not saying that other examining boards in the country don't do that as well. But it is our particular focus, because what we are saying is that the way it's assessed will dictate how the teacher teaches. So if the teacher needs to teach analysis and understanding, because that's what's going to be assessed, then they'll do it. If the assessment is not going to demand analysis or understanding, then they will simply say, learn page 90 to page 110. And when the question comes, you just simply reproduce what's in your notes. So I think it's a nuance that assessment drives teaching. So good assessment will drive good teaching. That's our philosophical basis.
So you just mentioned earlier on that the IEB exams are internationally benchmarked, which essentially means that IEC, or rather IEB learners automatically get entry at all the Ivy League and the Oxbridge schools overseas. What is it that the other examination regulators are not doing right?
No, I think the National Senior Certificate is a qualification that is internationally recognized. So whether you do the National Senior Certificate through the IEB or whether you do it through the state or any other assessment body in South Africa, the qualification is recognized.
Okay.
Where the point you're making comes in is if learners do the advanced programs, those are a different level, if I can put it that way.
Okay.
They are A-level and hence allow better access to some of the international boards. Having said that, the students, South African students, have success in getting into international universities,
okay.
Particularly, obviously, if they're good performers.
All right. Now, briefly, we haven't got much time. Which are the best performing schools and the top student?
We don't actually rank students simply because the top student in art and the top student in mathematics, how do you compare their performances? So you'll have some students offering art and others offering science. To try and say this one is better than that one is going to be very difficult because they each have their own specialities. We do have a set of outstanding learners. Amongst the top schools, I'm very pleased to say that many schools within the IEB have commendable learners or outstanding achievers. In other words, it's not dominated by one or other school.
Right.
10 years ago that was the case, but it's changed quite dramatically.
Right.
And we have a really nice spread right around the country.
All right. And great chatting to you this morning. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
Well, that was the Independent Examination Board CEO Anne Oberholzer talking to us about the IEB pass rate, which has increased from 98.67% in 2016 to 98.76% in 2017. Well, let's take a short break now. We'll be right back.